The first couple years of the band, we put everything back into the band. We put ourselves on a $100 a week salary.
If I had $1 million, if I had $1 million, I'd buy you a house. I would buy you a house. If I had $1 million, if I had $1 million.
It's one of those songs that we've actually played at every single concert we've ever done, except I think for like 2 concerts in Germany.
If I had $1 million, if I had $1 million, well, I'd buy you a K car, a nice Reliant automobile. If I had $1 million, I'd buy your...
But I do love playing this song, and I think it's sort of become, in a lot of ways, kind of the property of the crowd.
If I had $1 million, I'd build a tree fort in our yard. If I had $1 million, you could help, it wouldn't be that hard. If I had $1 million, maybe we could put like a little fridge in there. Or maybe
the last close to 15 years, I've written everything on the drive to and from my cottage. That's where I get all my ideas. And I used to record it into a little tape recorder, a little handheld memo recorder. And then I would get to the cottage and I would spend a couple of days kind of sorting through those ideas and trying to build them. When I hear a melody, I have in my head the harmony for it and the chord structure and kind of where it's going. So when I sing something into a recorder, when I go back and listen to it later, I always hear that harmonic structure that I was thinking of when I made it up. So I've never had a problem with it.
Fur coat, but not a real fur coat, that's cruel. If I had $1 million, if I had $1 million, I'd buy you an exotic pet, like a llama or an emu.
Done a lot of writing on spec where people are asking, we want a song about this. And I just wrote a song for the David Suzuki Blue Dot tour. I love doing stuff like that, and I write very easily in that scenario. Or Big Bang Theory, they said we want you to encapsulate the history of everything in 30 seconds. And I was like, game on.
If I had $1 million, we wouldn't have to walk to the store. If I had $1 million, we'd take a limousine, 'cause it costs more. If I had $1 million, we wouldn't have to eat Kraft dinner. But now as a parent, I do it a lot. Usually just what's left. Because cold Kraft dinner with lots of ketchup in it is actually kind of fantastic.
My main goal is to entertain people and make people laugh.
It's funny,
it
was a staple of my diet as a child.
And for my boys, it's a total guilty pleasure. I do my best to feed them healthy food, and all the time they'll come back from the store like, look what we got. And I try not to be excited. I get asked for advice a lot, and most of the time I don't really know what to say, because you kind of got to find your own path. But what I encourage any writer to do is to just not be so precious about every syllable, and just instead write more. Instead of trying to write the perfect song every time, try to write 5 songs.
$1 million. Very nice. Well, I'd buy you a green dress, but not a real green dress, that's cruel. If I had $1 million, sing it. Well, I'd buy you some art, a Picasso or a Garfunkel. If
I like to be really clever, and I like to think of something that nobody's thought of. But sometimes it's appropriate to just be really straight ahead and be honest and be emotional and be simple. So it's taken understanding how to get out of the way of your own insecurities about what you're writing.
If I had $1 million, if I had $1 million, if I had $1 million, si j'avais $1 million, if I had $1 million. I'd be rich and totally bilingual.